It's Harman here from Remax Millennium, and today we're on a very, very long trip to somewhere special, and that somewhere special place is Windsor. So right now I'm heading to Windsor to show a couple of properties for a friend of mine, and we're scheduled to show those properties at 1 p.m. And right now it's currently 10:30 a.m. So I'm almost there, but still a long journey ahead. So what I wanted to do is basically take you along that journey with me. So I've been driving for about an hour and a half at this point, and we're almost here at London, which pretty much means we still have almost 2 hours of driving left. Honestly, as much as I love real estate, sometimes I don't really enjoy the long drives that come along with it. But luckily, I'm not driving in my own car at the moment. I've borrowed my mom's car for the day, and pretty much the lane assist and the cruise assist is much more enjoyable compared to the car I have. Right now I'm in the 2021 Toyota Camry, and luckily the features are pretty good for like assistive driving. For the most part, I'm just cruising along on these roads, and I don't really have to drive and adjust acceleration a bit too much on my own, which kind of helps when you're driving along. And I hope for better weather today, but unfortunately it's all gloomy today. But you never know. I'm still looking forward to visiting some different places after the showings in Windsor. Capture a few scenes of the local environment in Windsor. Because I've been there and I haven't been there for about 4 to 5 years at this point. The last time I went was around 2016. And finally got the opportunity to go again. So I'm excited to see how the city has changed. One thing I also want to say is actually quite windy today. Kind of reminds me of last Saturday. So normally I wear glasses, but last Saturday we had pretty much a storm here in Ontario. So it hit quite pretty hard in like Brampton and Mississauga. And I went outside, came outside my car pretty much, and as soon as I came outside, the winds were literally so strong that my glasses flew off. Now, someone hearing this is probably pretty funny, but it's pretty tragic for me because that essentially means I have to spend another $800 for new glasses, because literally when the frames landed on the ground, they split apart, and then a bit of the pieces pretty much flew away because of the wind, which is partly the reason why I'm not wearing glasses right now, because I'm waiting for my new ones to be made. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks I have another pair, but honestly I wasn't really happy that day. But what can you do? You just adjust as what life throws against you. Who knows? Maybe someday, maybe something's better coming along, because even the current frames I pretty much had, I've been regretting buying them for the past 2 years. Maybe it was God's way of basically saying, okay, enough procrastinating, go get a new pair, make your life easier. Alright guys, so we have finally arrived in Windsor after a long drive of 3.5 hours basically. But we're finally here. It's been a long journey, and this is basically just the start of the day. So far, gotta deal with a couple of these showings, then after that, heading to see a couple of friends and dealing with a couple of lease agreements that I have in the works right now, and then off we go to home, and then another 4-hour drive basically that I have to get done. But this is part of the job. This is basically one of the ways I get to travel all around Ontario. It's pretty great. So I'm here in Windsor now, and I'm here to have a look at this property right behind me. Now, the property does not have a driveway, but even then, it's a great opportunity in terms of something that you can use as an investment tool. Why? Because the price for the property is only $298,000. Now compare that to something in the GTA. A property like this in Toronto would easily go for $1 million. And for the most part, the rental prices are likely going to be exactly the same. So choosing to invest in Windsor, bringing money into the city where we have places like Windsor University, where students are constantly coming in, whether they're international or domestic, for their studies. And we also have Windsor Law School. This is a great place for you to house people that can easily pay $300-400 a month and cover your mortgage on a $300,000 property that's going to be like $1,200. So amazing. Overall, the property is quite nice, so we'll head over to the next one, which is in 160 Marion Avenue, and we'll have a look on what that property is like. It's a great opportunity for investment, but I don't know, because it doesn't have a driveway, it's going to basically limit your options in terms of the kind of tenants you can have. At this point, the only tenants you can have at the property is those that exclusively rely on buses or are students, pretty much. So here we are at the second property. This right here is pretty much a duplex. And what that means, you can have residents living upstairs and you can have residents living downstairs completely separately. So this is what people mean in terms of getting a house that can pay for itself. You can easily live upstairs in the 2-bedroom apartment and have the bottom rented out to other students, young couples, or another young family. In this case, since the mortgage is so low, you can rent out downstairs for $1,200, with utilities being around $350 for the entire house and gas being around $75. You can easily have this entire house pay for itself for the most part, since your mortgage is going to be around $1,500 or so.
In this case, it's something that's really affordable for people that are just starting out, that don't necessarily have the capital to invest in the GTA. It's a great opportunity for you guys. Look at this area, nice and quiet. And the benefit for this property is it has a 2 parking right at the back of the house. So this is essentially the front, and on the back side we have a driveway where 2 parkings can happen. So just finished showing the house. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go for a lunch break. It's 2:30 right now. The investors have just went to sign into their Airbnb. They'll be staying the night. I won't be. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on online, see for a couple other houses that are in the area for sale. Since a lot of the bookings that we had booked yesterday, they called and informed me that the house has already been sold. Is this something I'm happy about? Not really, but it happens. It's part of the business. But once I'm done eating lunch, I'll be looking at properties, and then I'll be booking a couple more showings, and we'll be going and having a look at those with the investors up until, let's say, 6 or 7 o'clock, and then I'll be making my way back to the GTA. It's going to be a very, very long day, and we're pretty much not even half done yet. So I'm just gonna go eat some lunch for now. So it's 7 p.m. guys, and I have just finished showing a property to the investor clients, and this is the one that they really like, and I've decided to place an offer on. Now at this point, very interesting situation where the listing realtors priced the property at $200,000, but as soon as we walk into the property, we realize it's almost $100,000 underpriced. Now, if it were a different market, we would have been able to get the property. But as soon as we placed the offer, we got informed that there is an offer on the table for $360,000. Now that's $160,000 over asking. And right now, the investors are debating whether or not to place a higher offer. But that's what's happening in the background right now. But I'll show you the property in the meantime, which is right here. Now this property right here is a 4-bedroom, 2 washrooms, and overall pretty good property if I do say so myself. But the thing is, the second washroom that they've listed onto the MLS is all the way in the basement, and the basement is unfinished. And the basement ceiling heights are pretty much almost just 6 feet. And if you see this way, you will also see there's railway tracks that are right here, which means almost every now and then we have trains coming by, and you have constant noise of railway tracks moving and the railway engine horn. But the investors are very, very interested in the property, so we're working on the background to do whatever our magic is. Hopefully we win the offer, but for now I will be making my way back to the GTA. It's been a long day, and I have another long drive ahead of me. Let's see. So I'm finally home now. It was a very, very long drive, as you can probably see from my eyes. I'm super tired. But on the way, I got some good news. The offer that I placed before I left Windsor has been accepted. So at this point, huge congratulations to the investor clients. And for now, I'm going to sleep. On to the next day.